Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me, I have the new 2024 Buick Envista. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, and then go for a spin around and see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of this 24 Envista, and this is the Preferred trim. So there's a few different trims in the lineup. There's the ST, which is going to look a little bit sportier on the exterior. There's the Avenir, which is going to be the top trim, which adds a little bit more equipment, but I like this trim look. The MSRP starts under $27,000 with the added packages in this one. So it's a lot of car for the money, but let's go for a little spin around, see what we think. Now, this vehicle is powered by a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder turbo. It doesn't sound like much, but it's actually really fun and kind of a zippy little vehicle when you're out on the road. It's going to get you a 30 combined MPG rating, so you're looking at about 32 if you're just doing some highway driving, which is pretty good out of a smaller SUV. Now, the Envista is a new vehicle to the Buick lineup, and it kind of fits in sort of not quite the same as the Encore GX, but it's going to be a little bit smaller, and it's going to keep the overall MSRP down. Now, this one does have the convenience package as well as a couple other packages. So for those freezing cold Minnesota winters, I click the little button on the steering wheel, and I do have a heated steering wheel in here, and I also have some heated seats for the driver and the passenger. Now, these seats are really cool. It's kind of a cloth leatherette hybrid mix, so in the summertime they won't get so hot, and in the winter they heat up really quick because the centers are cloth, and it's really a nice and comfortable seat. Now, one of the other things that's cool, I've got my phone with me, right? So when I'm out driving around, it's got wireless charging with that added convenience package, and what that's going to do is that's going to keep my phone charged up while I'm using the wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as Android Auto, and that's going to stream wirelessly. Things like Google Maps, Spotify, and then you can also use Siri as a voice control on the steering wheel here, so my attention isn't with my phone, it's paying attention to the road ahead. Now, what about safety features in this vehicle? This one does, like I mentioned, have a few added things to this particular Envista, like the adaptive cruise control system, so I can set a gap, whether that's 3, 2, or 1 car length ahead of me, and that's going to keep the distance of the vehicle ahead while using the cruise control. If you're doing a lot of highway driving, that is an excellent feature. Now, this is also going to have blind spot monitoring. So I've got someone coming up behind me in my blind spot. It's going to notify me on the mirror here, and if I were to put on my blinker, it would give me a notice. So that is also going to help keep me safe. Now, there's also a little button down here just past the shifter. That's for a lane departure warning. So you'll see it lights up on the dash, and that would notify you if you start to sway out of that lane when the vehicle can read the lanes on the road. So if you are doing maybe a cabin trip or a lot of highway driving, there's a lot of safety to keep you and maybe your family, if they're in the vehicle, very safe. Now, let's talk about the infotainment screens here. So you have a full digital display as well as your infotainment screen. Now, it almost seems like one seamless screen, and it almost is because you can send information from the main infotainment over to the gauge cluster. Things like your trip information, some of the vehicle information, you just click it, click show in cluster, and then it moves it across. But I like that I've got my Apple CarPlay. It's kind of more of a driver-centric focused system, but it makes it easy to swipe through, get to what I need to get to. And then you've also got some other stuff you can go through in here, like traction control or just the home screen or your music. So there's a lot of usability on that infotainment. Now, some other great convenience features in this particular Envista, it has the power liftgate in the back. So you click the little button back there or on the key fob, and that's going to open it up for you. And then if you're not hauling people around, the seats do fold down nearly flat, so that's going to give you lots of cargo space. I was surprised at just how small this vehicle looks from the exterior, but then when you open it up and kick those seats down, you do get quite a bit of room. And there's also a cargo cover in the back. So if you don't want people peering in, if you've got stuff, if you're on a trip or anything else, that's going to keep it hidden away from plain sight. So how is the ride and drive? Like I said, that 1.2 liter turbocharged engine, if I put my foot down, it gets up and moves. I mean, it's not a very heavy vehicle. It's a smaller kind of crossover SUV, so I wasn't expecting it to be super quick or fast, but I was blown away. It's kind of fun to drive. It's darty, it's easy to get in and out of parking spots because it's not a huge SUV. And yes, there is room in the back. Where I'm driving comfortably, I didn't move the seats and I can still sit behind me. I know maybe I wouldn't want to be on a long road trip. Maybe if you're looking for more room, you jump up to the Enclave. But I think for day to day, if it was just me in the car, this would be more than enough space, and with the ability to fold the seats down and have a little extra cargo room, this could be plenty to get everything done. So with the Apple CarPlay, the great fuel economy, what I think is cool styling on the exterior, like I said, you can move up to the Avenir, which adds a little bit different wheel and exterior styling, or you can go a little sporty and go with the ST model. I think there's a lot to like about the Buick Envista. At a vehicle that starts around $25,000, when the average new car price is over $45,000, this is a lot of car for the money that adds a lot of equipment, a lot of great style. Now, this is one I think you gotta get out, take for a spin, see what you think. So that was just a quick look and drive in the 24 Buick Envista. Now, if you'd like more information or to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by either one of our Buick GMC dealerships and we'd be happy to help you out. Thanks again for watching.